Welcome back. This is part 16, I believe, of my Rome Total War campaign. I am Lews Therin, and last time we spoke, we were looking at this map and looking at where we stand. So, real quick, I actually want to check public order. So, if you can see over here, actually, public order here in Phasnia has actually increased. Now, I want to talk about why this makes sense. I am no Total War expert by any fucking means, but I can tell you what I have learned playing this game. When you conquer a country, this is something that I didn't notice in Shogun, but I definitely see it here. A country. You actually conquer certain parts of the country, so major cities. So Italy would be one quote-unquote country, with Rome and Napoli and all these other cities providing the sections. So when you conquer a country, what you need to do first is actually make the population like your culture more than the culture that was currently established at that time. So, for example, here in Africa, I started with Carthage, and I made the Carthage people like me so much that it bled over to the rest of Africa. So that when I conquered Africa, it was quite easy to take care of. Same thing with Carthagenesis, same thing with Mauritania over here. So eventually, when I do hopefully take over all of these other areas, they will already like me. I have my eye here on the Editani and I have my eye here on Phasnia because they both are really something that I'm looking forward to. As a matter of fact, we're going to look into taking over this small country right here today. We still have about 8 turns left before the Editani can do anything about us, and their army looks fractured and weak, so I think this is the right time to strike. So let's go over here to their army. Here we have the Garmashi or whatever. I want to end the non-aggression pact, and it's sort of warning them that we're gonna fight, but still. Um, so, so because I broke my alliance with them just now, I am now pretty much warning them that war is coming. Kind of like how I freaked out when Sparta broke their alliance. It's kind of the same thing. So I don't think it'll be necessary, but I'm going to move this army here in case there needs to be a set of reinforcements to be established. We're going to move the army out as well. Oh, never mind. We're not going to move the army out of the city. I lied to myself. I expected us to be able to move quicker than we did, but it's not going to happen. So we're going to maintain an army here, and we might move the army here with that used to be in Thapsus to be the actual main attacking army. This might be the best course of action for now, but we don't know because we shall see. So that's one of the movements that's being taken care of on that side. On this side, oh wait, I didn't end the turn. On this side, we're going to actually start moving into Karthadashi to have 2 armies on the upper areas of the Mediterranean, because we've been so focused on Africa to the south that we have been disregarding Spain, and our allies are pretty much taking over that entire area. Not that I have anything against our allies being powerful. They can be powerful all they want. It's just that the Celtici don't strike me as the kind of people who are just going to become friends with us forever and ever. Kind of like how the Veneti will never become friends with us forever and ever. So, here we are. We're going to move the legions up, and we're going to still maintain this escort right over here just to be safe. This is the army that was marching on Eel, by the way. So this army that we moved just now from Thapsus will continue its march, and will start crossing our borders into Sidama's next turn. Hopefully by then we should be able to move forward and I don't know about attack yet, but I definitely do want to attack soon. We haven't declared war, so there's not really a hurry. Let's move this army over into Cassentia, and this is pretty much where this army is going to stay. It's going to stay to the south. It's not going to do too much. We already have a fleet nearby anyway, and I'm going to give a little bit more trust to the Veneti and move the fleet back down to Brundisium. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to be friends with the Veneti. I want them to like us. I want them to eventually be as good an ally as Syracuse has. Now, granted, Syracuse has problems. Syracuse has been fucking dragging us into all kinds of wars and shit. I know. But you know what? We want to have the Veneti on our side because they're becoming powerful. They're almost equal to us at this point. And, you know, I do wish we became friends so I don't have to work with them. They're expansionistic though, which is quite problematic. So you know, let's see how it goes. So we have a non-aggression pact. They have everything else. I want us to become military allies. However, they're not really into that. So I want a defensive alliance, and I'm willing to pay for it. I'm willing to pay 2,000. But they didn't want to do it. So you know what? I mean, we're not weak yet, Venetti, but, you know, we're there. So, the Venetti, obviously not into being friends with us completely. We're kind of like their side hoes. We're just going to not actually be complete friends. They're just going to talk to us every once in a while so we don't feel bad. So, that's kind of how we stand with them. But, it's not all bad. I think it's fine. We're going to move this fleet that we've been building, the newest one, over to the middle of the ocean, basically just to watch out for the Editani and any future conquest in the area. The Editani here surprised me, though. I expected them to be building more troops on this side to protect themselves from any future attack, but they don't seem that interested, which, again, surprises me. But it is their business. I'm not, one to give too much of a fuck about that. We're going to move the agent over to Lilibeum to eventually go back up through here and maybe into random areas of the Venetti settlements, because the Venetti, again, I just see war coming eventually. I don't see it now. I don't see it 10 turns from now, but I see it. So I want to start getting ready. On the flip side of that, I also want to take a few moments to think about the Celtici. The Celtici here are considered devious, which means that, they're not necessarily friendly to us all the time. As such, I'm not truly sure how I want to proceed with them. However, just like Sparta, in a sense, not Sparta, just like Syracuse, which is considered unreliable, we're just going to have to take it. We're not really going to worry about ourselves too much. If the Celtici fight us, it'll be a long, drawn-out war, but we're still way more powerful than them. And as a matter of fact, we've been becoming more powerful. The balance of power was quite different before. We're considered trustworthy, actually, because, as I said earlier, we don't really go back on our word. We decided we're going to do a treaty, fine. We're going to wait the proper 10 seasons, and then we're going to fucking beat the shit out of you. That's how we roll. Rome. But over here in Ars, we actually don't need to Latinize them too much because they've been Latinized quite a bit from the other people. So we're going to look into agriculture just to make sure that the spread of the empire does not go hungry. Back here to Phassania, or whatever the fuck this is called, we're going to look into a temple. Let's do the Shrine of Mars, considering how much war has been going on. And that will increase our Latin influence across the area. Over here, this place, which yields quite a bit of economic prosperity for us, will see. I don't want to increase this is basically an option to increase the amount of manufacturing they do. So this one is like for them to be making food and drink, or diamonds or jewels or coins, and I'm not into any of these, mainly because it suggests that they can become more rowdy, I suppose. And that's not good, because what if a famine comes? What if a war comes? I really don't want them to be too rowdy on me. So we're just going to chill with them. Again, there's an army, a very small force here up in Vela 3, but I'm not interested in them. As a matter of fact, we're going to move them over to Armenium. Because as I said, even though I want the Venetti to think we like him, I don't want them to think we like him too much. Then we look needy, and that's not how I roll. So again, this movement over to Brundisium, I do want to check something now that we're talking about the Venetti. So yeah, they're definitely encroaching on Spartan territory over here. And Macedonia, I don't know how the fuck, is still surviving over here. I kind of want to engage them and try to talk to them, but Macedonia have been dicks to us, so I honestly want them to die. And yeah, I think we're done. I think there's nothing else that has to be done. We're going to test something. No, we're not. We're gonna chill out. Yep, let's chill out. So yeah, we're not at war technically over here by Sidamus, but I know it's coming, so that's why there's two armies marching. And at the same time, we're preparing ourselves for the inevitable conquest over up in Spain. Ooh. Ooh. We're going to enter war with Lusitani. Mainly because we need to keep the alliance with those other people quite well, and this is a defensive alliance, which means it only works if somebody's actually getting attacked. Notice, though, that these motherfuckers over in Syracuse are trying to get slick with me. They're hanging out by Carthage too much. I think they're going to try to take it. The Volcae want peace with us. I mean, technically we're at war with the Arventi, the Editani. Are we at war? No, we're not at war with the fucking... Oh, we're enemies, but we're not at war. Huh. Yeah, let's be friends with them for now, because I have too much on my plate to even worry about it. Faction joins my enemies, Editani. So Egypt actually ended up in peace with one of my allies, so which means that Egypt is still extremely powerful and not to be fucked with. Can the Saddamist army move forward? Can we declare war now? Let's find out if we can declare war now here on Garama, because I don't think it's a bad time to do it. I feel like there's going to be a lot of wars later, and it might be the best time right now. We still have the trade treaty, so let's basically issue our final, you know, litmus test. Not litmus test, but like how do you call this? So basically, it's like an not an omen, it's something that would indicate. Let's just call it an indicator. So this is our final indicator that we're definitely gonna fucking declare war. We broke all of our goddamn treaties with them, and we finally decided it's time for war. So we're gonna march here from Sadamas. We're gonna move this army into Sadamas to maintain the peace. So we're gonna get ready to attack. Once Garama is ours, we will own yet another country and increase our wealth that way. Hopefully that way we can actually maintain a couple more armies. Let me see if we can actually do something. Yeah, we can do still 2 more armies. And we're slowly gaining traction on the Senate floor, which is very, very good. We're going to actually secure a promotion. Oh shit. What is this? We're now governor. I think the only thing left after that is dictator. So we're now essentially almost king of Rome, which is nice. And here at Ebora, they're kind of doing their own thing. I really have no interest in them, and besides, they're too far to attack us anyway. So declaring war on them was just a formality so that the fucking Celtici would leave us alone. This fleet over here is going to move into Ebosium, mostly just to be there. I really have no interest in doing anything with them right now. I don't know how I feel right now about attacking them yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this fleet over here back into the middle of the ocean, basically to increase our overall military. Let's move actually back here. No, here. Threat. So we want them to be kind of scared of us. So we're gonna move all of our pieces kind of in a scary fashion. On the side, though, actually I've decided, because our quote-unquote allies are getting slick, we're gonna move one of the fleets into Carthage, just to be safe. Once this, you know, problem over here in Sadamas and Garama ends, then we can worry about other things. Is that all we have to do? Is there any army managing here? Yes, there is actually. We're gonna move the fleet into Brundisium. You know, I honestly wish that we could just have this entire, you know, Magna Graecia area as Latin, but we can't. You want to know why? Because a fucking Syracuse here keep fucking shoving this goddamn Greek shit up our ass. I really don't like it. It really drives me up a fucking wall. But you know what? It's something I have to live with. How long until we can declare war again on the Editani? I do want to know. Shut the fuck up. Oh, are we fighting them again? Why am I unreliable now? Oh, I broke a contract of some sort. Alright, so apparently we're at war with the Editani, and I didn't even know that. So, let's take them down. I lied. We're not taking them down. Because they have camped an enormous army outside, and we're gonna chill. We're gonna break the siege. We're gonna actually move back to Ars and garrison there for the time being until the main army arrives over here. Oh no, wait, the army is over here, so let's actually start marching it. Yeah, so for some reason I underestimated their defenses. The walls are clearly harder to break than I expected, so we're gonna move 2 armies in and crush them. Next turn we should be able to also to finish the war over here in Garama. It'll be fun. We're now considered unreliable by other people, so on the one hand I don't like the fact that that's true. It makes us look like cunts, but at the same time it also makes us look scary. Like, who fucking knows what the Romans are up to, I try not to live that way. I try to honor my word and, wait the proper time before beating the shit out of people. But, alas, we have to do what we gotta do. I think it was because we joined on that other war. And that forced us to, get in trouble there. So we have an agent clearly trying to sabotage us for some reason here in Garamantia. I don't know if they succeeded or not. We basically won't know, I think, until it's our turn. But we'll find out. Look at the Venetia over there. Still pushing on Sparta, I'm sure. And I think they actually won a territory from Sparta. I'm pretty sure Epidamnos was Spartan. Military subversion attempt. They tried twice, and they failed. Oh, so our allies are actually fighting those people. So now, with more reason, we need to attack. Now we really need to attack because it's now an issue of our security. So we're at governor. I don't know if there's any promotion that we can really have right now. I'm not gonna assassinate my own people. Does this guy have a bad wife again? Why does he keep getting bad wives? How many seats do we have? 259. We're still recuperating. I don't want to start fucking wasting seats because he has a bad wife. Let's leave the wife alone. We'll kill her later. And let's take the city. How is it blocked? I don't understand how the fuck that's blocked. Yeah, let's take the city and be done with it. In a balanced stance, we seem to keep more troops, so we're going to take a balanced stance here. And done. Now that we have taken Garama, we now own the entire country. We're only going to occupy. We're not going to be fucking foolish. We're not going to do anything brash. We're just going to occupy. And since we have money left over for some reason, we're going to use it to... Ooh, I don't want to do that. We're going to use it to fix some of these cities up to things that we actually want. And we're going to build a few things that we can use for food production and that sort of thing. So yeah, the entire region is kind of pissy because we just took them over. But in time, they're going to understand that, we're better than everybody else. And they're going to love us again. So now, we have further expanded over here in Fazanir, or whatever the fuck this is called. Which is a good first step. The second thing we're going to do now is... If my thing would just move faster. Here. So we're going to march this army over. Right here. And I'm thinking that we can attack. With both armies now. Let's find out if it's possible. No, we cannot. So we're going to keep both armies camped here. It's not going to be a big deal. So yeah, both armies are now here at the border, which will in turn make everything much smoother for us. Now, because that war is pretty much done, we're just going to check to see if there's anything that really needs to be done, with haste. And then let's move on. So Magna Graecia needs an upgrade to the farms. That's easy. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's move on. What the fuck? Where is this Appius, whatever the hell his name is? Oh wait, here he is. Where are you, Appius? Oh wait, this might be a way easier way to do this. Good thing we discovered it now and not, 20 hours from now. Let's actually improve the line of sight, just cause. And turn. Okay. So the war over there in that country is finally over. I was really looking forward to finally settling that area once and for all. Hopefully our allies won't really need us too much in the future. Yeah, that was a good excuse to actually break the alliance earlier on the side of Spain when they asked us to join the war again. But, we gotta do what we gotta do. So the Editani trying to fucking sabotage us again. Let's see if they actually succeed. Oh, they succeeded, it seems. And we're gonna get attacked. So we are defending against them. They have a reinforcing army of whatever. So we're actually gonna retreat into the mountains. Okay, I guess we're retreating into the mountains. Remaining forces from the people we just conquered are trying to attack, basically. And I don't think they're going to do much. I think this is an agent. Hopefully he gets discovered and we can fucking murder him. Oh, there's a remaining army. That's good to know. And we now have siege against a fucking loser. How many people are actually left? 12 people. The general and his 12 bitches are attacking the city like dumbasses. So we don't even lose a single soldier just killing these 12 dumbasses. I don't understand why you would try to take siege against me with only 12 men, but whatever. Now see, now we're gonna enslave the captives. I'm not even gonna take this shit. Because you came in and had the balls to attack me with 12 people and expect some sort of result. It's ridiculous. Military subversion, so this worked. Enemy champion is So Gaius Renius Piso, because you won the battle, you are clearly better than before. And see, what I was saying earlier, now the city loves us, because now the city's like, you know what, these guys ain't so bad. They do their thing. They leave us alone. We're going to build another temple, though. And we're also going to try to... So these are forces remaining from the old government that are going to try to attack us, but frankly, they're kind of irrelevant. So who cares? Now, let's combine armies here. I'm trying to see if I can link the armies. Now. This army right here. We're trying to move it. It doesn't seem to connect for some reason. This one does, though. Alright, so now our forces are much more powerful, but yet we're still technically in the losing side. I suppose that their general must be much better. Not really. I don't see why we would lose. However, let's see here. Control large army. Dibs 4 units in the battlefield. Was waiting for reinforcements. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna retreat because I don't understand how we're having this issue. But we're gonna move this army in closer. In case they do attack, we can just take it to land and actually do it properly. Now, we have ships right here. We're gonna move them over here. Let's see if they can reinforce the armies. Do they reinforce? Yeah, they reinforce. So, at the very least, we'll have these guys reinforce a bit. We're going to include some extra units. Cheap units, but units. Yeah. So we're going to put some cheap units here to reinforce. Hopefully the army will be substantially more powerful, and that way, at least, we can move on with our lives. Now, because this army over here is pretty much done, we're going to go and pretty much move along. We're going to send this army through the desert back over to Lepsis. Actually, I'm just trying to think about whether or not we should do that or. Actually, no. We're gonna go chase the enemy army. No, let me see them. Yeah, the enemy army, while it is fractured, I'm still not convinced should be fucked with. So we're just gonna leave him there, guard the city, and if they come at us, we kill them. I think that's the best way for us to proceed at this point. Because there's still an enemy champion just hanging out here. I think we should just leave him alone and not worry about him too much. Also, I'm pretty sure we still left that one agent sitting there. So, I don't want to do that. So, we're going to start moving him back over because he's going to move to the north. We should have 2 champions already, actually. Yeah, we only have 2 champions, but we're going to build... Do you have money? Yeah, we have money. So, we're going to get a spy over here in ours. I'm going to hire a spy. Yeah. Just to have her there, and eventually we're going to have her take one of these motherfuckers down. But in the meantime, she's just going to chill out. She's going to do her thing. I think we'll be fine. This is not as easy as I expected it to be, but it's not going to be as hard as they think it'll be for us either. Oh, that's right. I was moving this fleet towards Carthage kind of to scare my allies into remembering that I owned them. Let's see what happens here. Royal Cynthia is still surviving and the Chimera is still surviving. It's interesting. Syracuse, again, doing nothing as usual. Let's see. Oh, they're engaging the army, but they're going to get their ass whooped, so that's not really useful. Let's retreat. They clearly came to scare the boats. And now they're reinforcing themselves, which is interesting. We're getting news here. Subversion. Okay, we attack the... whatever. Okay. Trade gain, Latin cultural influence, household expands. Numidian horseman seems to be better in my opinion. One of the factions was destroyed. And research is complete for what exactly again? Pretty sure we were over here. For this, which was 4% recruitment and agents and blah blah blah. So we're going to move into professional soldiery because, as you know, war is a constant here. And professional soldiery basically makes all of our soldiers much better than everybody else's soldiers, which is kind of the point of being Roman. We're going to move back here. I'm going to recruit some units. Can we recruit more units here? No. Can we recruit some mercenaries here? We're gonna hire some mercenaries over here and over here. Nope, we can't. But I tried. Let's test the water, see if we can actually fight them. Nope, we're still weak.
I'm afraid we cannot. We hunger for battle.
Yeah, so our army stronger, but still weak. And we're gonna have to start moving the navy forward. Because obviously this war has become much more costly than I expected. Not too costly though, so it's nothing to be worried about, but it is enough for me to take pause. Now, the army over in Sedamus, you know, as much as I don't care, I have to care a bit more. So we're gonna move it over. If this champion decides to attack the city, we will fucking wreck him. And other than that, I don't think there's anything else that we need to do. Oh yes, the agent. I want to leave him dead in the sea. And the spy. Forgot about the spy. So we hired the spy last turn. Hopefully she will create some sort of military sabotage of some sort. Intercept the orders, maybe? I don't know what the fuck she's gonna do. Let's go. Military sabotage successful. We learned about Akko, one of their lands. Oh, they have more lands than I thought. So the Editani, do they own Akko? The fuck is Akko? Okay, so the Editani have fucking people deep in Masilla for some reason. So I assume they're trying to expand. But that doesn't really make sense, does it? Huh. Well, yeah. Anyway, this war has been a bit costly because now we're considered untrustworthy, but, you know. We'll look into it. We'll restore our rating later. We're still more powerful than most. Even more than the Veneti, even though the Veneti are, again, being very, very close to us. And they scare the shit out of me every day. I cry just because of the Veneti. Huh. And because of the Veneti, I'm now considering expanding this army. But I think it's me being paranoid. Nope, it's not. We're going to build a huge army. Do we have a trainer here? We don't. Let's build 2 cavalry units. And some more spears. Just because I want a bit of a better army guarding the north of Italy. I am still very scared about the Venati. And as a matter of fact, because I'm so scared of them, we're going to move an army to march on Rome. And an army here in Brundisium to get to Napoli, which is a more central location. What the fuck are you doing, army in Brundisium? You're a fucking idiot. Alright, the army in Brundisium is stupid. And they went to the wrong section. So we're going to explain to them that that's stupid. They're going to go back to Brundisium and they're going to fucking march like the people that they are. They don't fucking swim. They march. Finally, the fleet over here in Carthage has landed, which is excellent. And now all we need to do, truly, is make sure that the provinces are safe and we can move on. Magna Graecia wants me to build some more military settlements, but I really couldn't give 3 fucks about it. We can't upgrade the city because I'm getting too ballsy with my army building, but I think we'll be fine. I think we're completely fine. Again, I don't want to build any military settlements here because you don't need it. Alright, let's move on. What? Titouria has some sort of fucking skill I need to assign. Where's Titouria Calvina? Here they are. Oh, this is the spy who just did some shit for me. I'll give you a skill. Better spy skill. There you go. Done. Enjoy yourself. Whoops, this is the politics. Although while we're here, we're 52%. We're actually gaining some traction once again in the Senate. And I think it's because we have all these motherfuckers securing their promotions. It's too bad we cannot afford to secure more promotions, to be honest. This admiral here could be consul if it weren't for the fact that we're kind of broke. Let's look into promoting one of our people, though, even if it's just to military tribune. The more Julii rule the world, rule Rome, then it'll be easier for us to maintain the Senate on our side. I don't want a civil war brewing from Romans. We have enough wars as it is. Look at the Editani here. Are they gonna fight us? No, they're gonna send an agent to see if they can fuck us up again. I mean, they're good at building agents. They're not very good at fucking maintaining empires, though. Oh. Spoke too soon. They're attacking with 1,600 troops, arguably superior troops, against my 2160. This is what I was talking about earlier, by the way, about the whole, you know, you need to sometimes go to the ground. I see that it says here that we would lose, but I'm confident that if I put my fucking mind to it, I'm going to beat the shit out of these people. So, here's what I'm going to cut it. We're going to go into the next episode with this battle. So, once again, I am Lews Therin Telemon. This is part 16, I believe, of my blind run of Rome Total War 2. I hope you have enjoyed yourself, and if at this point you have not subscribed or liked or shared or done anything of that nature, please do. You clearly enjoy yourself if you're this far. Thank you very much. You have a good one.